Aloha guys, Mermaid Nina here. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Today I thought we would do a slightly different video. I want to talk about when will Disney World open. And when I say that, I also mean Disneyland and Disney Cruise Line and basically anything Disney. I want to talk, when is that going to happen? I have the scoop for you. Well, I should say not really the hidden scoop. I have the facts. So I want to talk to you guys about the facts. So this is not a clickbait video. This is me hashing out the facts that we know it as of today and how this could relate to the future opening of the U.S. Disney parks. So let's get started. First, I do want to say that I am not just some random fangirl who thinks she knows what's going on. As most of you know, I am a travel agent. I am a travel agent who specializes in Disney vacations. I book Disney vacations full time. This is not my hobby. This is my full-time job. And I have been doing it for so many years, I'm running out of fingers on my hands. So this is something I know in and out, through and through, 100%. You might actually call me the expert on this, which is why when I post my videos, I know what I'm talking about because this is what I do for a living. But let's get started. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my phone here because what I did is I took screenshots of actual information posted by Disney. None of these random blog sites that might have WDW in the name or some random Disney character in the name or the main mouse himself in the name. This is from actual Disney. So this is fact, fact, fact. First, I want to start with flights. So many of you will fly into the parks, and so I just want to cover this real quick because it kind of shows you the flow of what's kind of going on in the standards. So the first thing I want to show you is I am a Delta girl. I fly Delta. Delta did announce that everyone, customers included, are to wear face masks. Okay, so when this was announced, everyone was freaking out because they're like, well, my kid, or how am I supposed to eat with a face mask and all these things? It does say, and I am reading exactly from this, Delta employees and customers will experience an extra layer of protection starting May 4th. So this has already happened. They continue to say a few other things about staying 6 feet apart and blah, blah, blah. But what they don't necessarily, or what people don't really know about, are kind of like the fine-tuned stuff. It says very specifically in here that they would like you to wear the mask basically in the lobby, through security, boarding the airplane, and all that good stuff. But they specifically say, except during meal service. Now, I'm making a note to say this for a reason. They do not expect you to wear a mask and try to feed yourself under your mask. This will come into play later. They also say people unable to keep a face mask covering in place, including children, are exempt. So you don't need to wear it if you're a child, and you don't need to wear it while you're eating. They also note in here, which kind of scares me a little bit, but they are expanding an electrostatic sanitizing spray to all aircraft areas. So they're spraying down our seats, not quite sure. They will also be using a state-of-the-art circulation system with the HEPA filters that extract more than 99.9999% of even the tiniest of viruses within the Delta aircraft. It actually says that, the tiniest of viruses. I'm just mentioning what is fact. They also say that they are going to try to allow for more space in between seating, which includes moving the middle seat. Just fact, people. I'm just telling you fact. Let's say, oh, and the next thing they're going to do is they're going to start boarding back to front. I personally love this because I cannot tell you how many times people are passing by you in that little tiny aisleway, coughing and sneezing on you, or dripping their food that they got from the food court on top of you. So if they board the plane from seat 40, whatever, forward, you won't have that risk. I actually really love this. They also say that they will be providing directly to customers, when available, hand sanitizers and amenity kits. So if you forgot to bring your wipes or your whatever, Delta claims they are going to have extra on standby. So again, this isn't Disney, but this is just following suit with what you're going to hear from Disney. And of course, they have this fun little icon. I don't know if you guys can see it from the glare, about saying for everyone's safety, masks are now required, Delta, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's get into Disney. It was just announced literally yesterday, which is why I'm doing this video. Disney Springs is opening up. Woohoo! We're going to get to that because it doesn't exactly mean what you think. We're going to start with Shanghai. Did you know that Shanghai is actually opening before Disney Springs? So right before they announced Disney Springs is opening, they announced Shanghai Disneyland, which is in China, is opening. They are opening, and it says right here, again, I'm reading fact, to controlled capacity on May 11th. Now, what they don't say is what controlled capacity, the number, actually is. Of course, if you are reading the blogs and the vlogs and everything else, it is rumored to believe that it's 30%. How are you controlling 30% of people in your park, Shanghai? Well, they tell you. Again, fact. It says here that they will institute new measures and procedures, including opening with limited attendance and required advanced ticketing and reservations. What does that mean exactly? Well, it means that they have allowed Shanghai residents to purchase tickets online, date-specific tickets. So I'm assuming once they've sold, say, I'm just throwing out a number here, 300 tickets, that date is gone. People have to move on to the next date. But of course, there's also annual pass holders. It says here, if I can find it, annual pass holders do have to reserve the date in question. So they are allowing tickets to be purchased plus APs at a certain number, and then I'm assuming they're capping it off. It says the ticket sales will be available at the resort's official webpage, blah, blah, blah. It does say on May 11th, the majority of Shanghai Disneyland's attraction rides, some shows, shopping, and dining locations will resume operations with controlled attendance. Yep. It says here some interactive attractions and experiences such as children's play areas, theater shows will remain closed. Guests can check the availability of attractions, blah, 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 through the official website. So you're saying, well, how does this apply to me, Nina? I'm not going to Shanghai. But this could, in fact, translate to what they do for the U.S. parks. So that is why I am sharing it. It also says here, guests will be able to greet and welcome everyone back to Shanghai. Close interaction and close-up photos with characters will be suspended during the initial phase of opening. What does that mean? That means no hugging. That means no running up to Mickey and hugging him and getting a picture. That's what that means. That means they could be walking about, waving. It does say in here that they will be suspending some of the nighttime shows, some of the parades, but they will be creating a special kind of character parade to happen several times a day to give you that character interaction. Again, this is Shanghai, but we can see how it could apply to the U.S. parks. It does talk more here about what the APs can do and how you can purchase a ticket, but I think we covered that. You need to provide basic information when you enter the park. You need to show your address, your ID, and all sorts of stuff. It says you need to pre-register for a health QR code prior to arrival. So they are really making sure that these people that coming into Shanghai Disneyland are not sick. They are not sick. Be prepared to present your China government ID, and I find this to be key because no one is going to Shanghai right now except for residents of China. People from the US are not flocking to Shanghai, hopping on an airplane and getting over there. These are Chinese residents going to Shanghai. This is key here in a minute. They will also undergo temperature screening procedures upon arrival, which I kind of get. Disney started doing that with the cruise ships, so why not do that for the parks? Now this is the part that has everyone up in an uproar, but I'm gonna read it to you fact. Ready? Number 6, wear an approved mask during your entire visit to the resort except for dining. Now this is key. I cannot tell you how many people are all over the blogs and the vlogs freaking out that they are gonna have to wear their mask. Here's mine. Can't really do it with ears. Oh, that was a pretty picture, huh? Here's mine. Okay, this is how you're supposed to wear it. So you can't eat with the mask on. So this is like something people are posting all over the place. I can't eat with the mask. How do they expect me to eat with this mask? I mean, you can't, it's just not possible. And even if you know, I mean, this is like not convenient. What is this? My Dole Whip right here? So people are kind of pre-freaking out over the wrong stuff. It says specifically, again, Disney's posted this, except when dining. That is key. So now let's move on. Now that my hair is totally ruined, let's move on to the US parks. Well, let's go into Disney Springs. So this is, again, from Disney Springs. Disney Springs begins phased reopening on May 20th. Disney Springs says, following the guidance of government, blah, 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 limited number of shopping and dining experiences that are allowed by third-party operating participants to begin opening during this initial phase. Third party. That does not mean the World of Disney. That means, you know, Victoria's Secret, Sephora, random buy your shoes, clothing, random restaurant. This is not cast member, Disney store opening. This is third party opening. Further down, it does say Disney Springs will begin to reopening in a way that incorporates enhanced safety measures, blah, 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 increased cleaning procedures, and so on. And the appropriate face coverings by both cast members and guests. Limited contact guest services, additional safety training for cast members, blah, blah, blah. So they are saying cast members and guests will be wearing masks during this initial phase. But you have to think about this. This is Disney Springs. Disney Springs is a shopping area. It is an outdoor mall. Right now in the state I'm in, I have to wear my mask when I go grocery shopping, when I go to Home Depot. So it wouldn't surprise me that I would have to wear a mask to go to an outdoor shopping mall. So this is not freaking me out. I have to wear the mask at home. Of course, I'm going to have to wear it if I shop at Disney Springs. There is something on the website that says, here's what you need to know before you go. They plan on updating this closer to May 20th. But I think that third party part is key. And I think acknowledging that Disney Springs is just a shopping center is also important. This is not the parks. This is not the resorts. This is shopping. With no one staying on Disney property right now, with no one going to the parks, the only people that are going to Disney Springs are locals. Are locals who need to buy something they can't get anywhere else, who miss a particular restaurant, or for bloggers and vloggers who want to check it out. It is not Disney guests flocking to Disney Springs right now. So now we're on Disney World. Okay, we're just moving up the ladder here. It says very clearly, again, Disney World posted it, Disney World theme parks and Disney resort hotels are currently closed, and a reopening date has not been identified. This is key. So all those blogs and YouTubes and things you are watching that claim they know when Disney is opening, they don't know. Excuse me, it has not been identified. So the rumors that the parks are opening in June, or the rumors that the parks are not going to open till 2021, are indeed rumors. They are clickbait rumors. It says very specifically right here, has not been identified. Now, someone who calls cast members every day, I talk to Disney every day. These people know me. I know them. They do not have a date. They do not know anything. So don't always listen to what you read. It does say that they are allowing people to book reservations starting June 1st. That doesn't mean the parks are opening June 1st. That means that they are not allowing people to book May anymore. They are allowing you to book starting June 1st. In fact, if you want a little insight, they have starting Wednesday, today is Friday, so 2 days ago, they have notified every single guest who has a late May reservation that your reservation has been canceled, which brings you to June 1st. I would expect if Disney is closing for the beginning of June 1st, that they will announce that next Wednesday. But at this point, opening date has not been identified. It is very clear on here. It also says for anyone with a reservation right now, they have, it says, we are waiving Disney imposed change and cancellation fees up until the date of check-in for reservations only through June 30th. That is kind of like, so they don't really know what's going on with June. They're allowing you to wait and cancel for a full refund up until that day because they are just not sure. Does that mean for sure they're going to open July 1st? No, that's not what that means. It means they haven't moved on to July yet. They are only working with what is coming up around the corner. So now we're on land. Land specifically says the Disneyland Resort, theme parks, hotel, and the downtown Disney district are currently closed, and a reopening date has not been identified. So again, all these rumors claiming to know, they know when X, Y, and Z is opening, nothing has been identified. The only thing we know is Shanghai is opening to limited capacity, and Disney Springs is allowing non-Disney stores and restaurants to open, which is probably due to the Florida government saying we're up and running. Okay, this is not necessarily Disney stuff going on here. It does, however, say for Disneyland that if you are looking forward to making a reservation or you need to change your current reservation, it is currently available for travel dates starting July 1st. So remember, Disney World is allowing you to book starting June 1st. Disneyland is allowing you to book July 1st. Does that mean Disneyland's not going to open in June? That's not what that means whatsoever. They might allow only the currently booked guests go to Disneyland, and that could be their initial reopening. That might be how they contain how many people are in the parks. We don't know. Again, has not been identified. I'm going to move on to Disney Cruise Line because, as you guys know, I love to Disney cruise. In fact, we do have a cruise coming up in a couple of months. And it does make me very, very sad because a lot of my fellow cruisers are canceling due to fear. They are canceling because of all of this nonsense rumors that are getting spread about, and it's freaking them out, so they're canceling. Part of me is like, go ahead and cancel, because that means my cruise ship is going to be more empty and it's going to be more free for me to enjoy. But people are freaking out because Disney has not announced anything. This is all just rumor and speculation, but people are canceling because they heard Castaway Cay will be closed. People are canceling because they feel like they're going to have to wear a mask their entire cruise. People are canceling because they feel like there's not going to be any kids clubs, and so on and so forth. So I want to make this known right here and right now. Disney Cruise Line on top of Disney US vacations are expensive. Disney knows this. If you are not, and I just don't believe that they would allow the parks to open, the cruise lines to open with limited experiences, especially Disney Cruise Line. They are known for their Castaway Cay, their private island. They are known for their kids clubs. And who really wants to wear a mask their entire cruise? I mean, I think there's a small fraction of people who would say, sure, I'll do that. But most people are spending so much money to vacation and have kids, they don't want to have to deal with that. And I think Disney knows that. And I think that's why I'm trusting. And I think that's why I personally don't think the parks or the cruises are opening up any immediate time soon. I think Shanghai was a good, trial. We'll see how that goes. But I'm just not sure we're there yet, because they just don't see them making us do these things that they know we don't want to do. Because I feel like they're just gonna get complaints, and no one wants to deal with that. I trust Disney so much. I know they're gonna do what's right and what's safe and what's healthiest, and also knowing that we've come to expect a certain level of service and experience, and they know that. They might tweak a few things, but in general, I would expect Disney Cruise Line to only happen if those certain things like Castaway Cay and Kids Club would continue on. So anyway, let me read what Disney Cruise Line says. It says a health screening is to be completed by all guests and crew members. That has always been happening. They are doing extensive extra cleaning on high sanitation areas, handrails, doorknobs, elevator buttons, and children's facilities. That means the kids clubs might still be happening. It's just reading fact. They also say that they are going to be cleaning the staterooms up to twice a day. Kind of thought they were always doing that, but it's noted here. The key thing here to note is they are discontinuing self-service buffets. Now this is what I think is going to transfer over to the US parks. I would not be surprised if buffets, or the self-service part of buffets, ends. It also says here that hand sanitizing station sanitizer wipes will be available. That's always been the case. And medical clinics and ship staff will be available. That's also always been the case. So the only thing to me that's extra new is the discontinuing of the buffet locations, and of course the temperature checks, which they started doing right before Disney Cruises ended. I would expect that stuff to continue. I would not expect Disney to think that all of their guests that are currently booked on Disney Cruise Line would still be willing to cruise at $10,000, $8,000, whatever their cruise was, without almost the same experience. Again, with character interactions might get adjusted, but no Castaway Cay, I would think, is a huge key part of why we cruise Disney. Same thing with service. They're still going to have amazing service. They're still going to have great shows and great food. It's more or less the interactions just might be slightly tweaked. So again, this is all just fact and how I know it. But again, this is what plays into what we're going to learn about the parks. Is we don't know. We actually don't know anything. The fact that Shanghai has decided to open about 4 months after its closure is encouraging. It makes us feel like maybe Disney World will open about 4 months after its closure. But at the same time, you have to remember, Shanghai is not a huge destination vacation. People from all over the world go to Orlando. I can't say as much for Shanghai. Shanghai is very heavily Asian based. I'm not saying a few Americans in UK and other residents don't trickle in there, but it's very China based. Those residents are already used to wearing masks. They wear masks anyway, so requiring them to wear masks at a theme park doesn't seem like too far of a stretch, because most of those people, most of that community are wearing masks anyway. When they visit a US park, they're wearing masks on their own. So don't get too freaked out about certain things that maybe is happening at this place and that place. It's also only May. By the time Disney World opens, we might not have to wear masks. It might be optional. So these are things I want you to consider. Characters. We have learned from Shanghai there is going to be no hugging or touching. And I know many of you are like, well, my whole trip is based off my toddler hugging Mickey. Well, this is what I suggest. Teach your toddler to hug a stuffy instead. I know it's not the same. I know it's not. But this could be like this for quite some time. So you kind of have to pick your battles. I would much rather not have to wear a mask and replace for not hugging Mickey. I get that I'm not a toddler, but I do have children. So this is what I'm saying. Instead of trying to capture that perfect video of your child hugging Mickey, why don't you, capture a picture? Why don't you take a video of your child's expression when they finally see Mickey? I think we just need to switch our thinking a little bit. It also would not surprise me if characters are no longer signing autographs. Why would I think this? Well, because Cinderella or Mickey or whoever has to grab, let's say there's 40 tables at a restaurant, has to grab a different marker 40 different times, has to grab 40 plus different books and hand sign it. And especially since most tables have multiple children, that just adds up. That's extra touching, extra, potential for germs. It's just what it is. And Shanghai said no pictures. This would not surprise me either. Typical character meet and greets is the family picture. Characters in the center, we're all reaching around, hugging. Again, close quarters. It would not surprise me if they just come to your table, that is, if it's a character breakfast, and just kind of say hi. Maybe there's more chatting. Maybe you get to know your character a little bit more because they're talking more than they're touching and hugging and getting a picture. Maybe videotape the character's interaction with your child versus having to get that hugging picture. Masks. I kind of went over this a little bit. Most of you are freaking out because you can't eat in a mask. I just showed you can't. But Shanghai and Delta are not requiring you to wear a mask while you eat. I'm pretty sure Disney is going to say the same thing. But will Disney make you wear masks? I clearly don't know. But if they do, maybe it's only when you're in an inside queue, when it's a little stuffy in there. Maybe when you're out and about in open air, it won't be required. I can see why certain cast members might need to, especially ones at quick service locations where they are face to face with the guest. But I'm hoping Disney is smart and knows we don't want to wear masks. We are not a culture who wears masks. I am hoping they know this and they will not open the park until the masks are maybe more optional and less required. But at the same time, if they do require us to wear masks, it might just be the way it is. The Chinese do it. Maybe we need to learn how to do it too, but I get it. I hate wearing mine. I love it. It's cute. It's stuffy. I hate it. Maybe we just need to move on with our lives. Oh, and I mentioned characters not signing autographs. A while back, Disney they tried this out. They would give people pre-printed autographs for the kids to put like in a scrapbook. I wouldn't be surprised if these come back because it's less touching. It's just a thought. I really think if they do make us wear masks, that it would be required for places like buses or the monorail, where you are kind of in close quarters with people. I know when we went to Disney in December, we all got the flu. It was a hellish nightmare. There was so much sneezing and coughing going on those buses. I'm pretty sure that's where we got sick. So me personally, I might wear my mask on the transportation just for that situation. Ride queues. Now they've already announced Shanghai is going to be reduced capacity. Maybe one way Disney World is doing reduced capacity is they are going to turn all of their systems to be electronic. So instead of your 3 fast passes, maybe you get a few more. Maybe when you arrive, you have to pre-schedule 10 rides a day or something like that, just so you're not all waiting in line in this queue. It has also been mentioned they might have queue markers where they might have families standing on an X every so 6 feet along a ride queue. It kind of just ruins the magic a little bit, but again, this is what it is. It is what it is. Food, I want to talk about this. As you saw, Disney Cruise Line, no buffets. I can totally see this at the Disney US parks. I'm not saying no character meals, but I could totally see them turning everything to menu, or at least not be self-service buffets. Does that change the experience a little bit? Absolutely. But it might be a necessary tweak to keep us safe. Personally, I'm fine with all of this if they don't require us to wear a mask. The mask is getting me a little bit, but it just might need to be, that just might be the way it is. A lot of people are worried about the heat. Florida is hot, but have you checked Shanghai? Shanghai is not cold, at least not this time of year. I think in May it's about 78 degrees, and they're all wearing masks. So it's just a thought. The other thing I wanted to mention was, I forgot what I wanted to mention, but it kind of just is what it is. So I know this video has been very long, and for those of you who have watched it the entire time, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please like and subscribe to this video. But in the end, I just wanted you guys to know the facts, to know the truth. The truth is, we don't know anything. What they're doing in Shanghai is testing to see what they can do in the US, but Shanghai is such a different experience. It is not a huge travel from all over the world destination like Orlando is. It's just kind of different. But I would expect when Disney does finally reopen its US parks to have some changes. And I think we all just need to accept those changes, because moving your trip to 2021 or 2022, does that really make it better? It's food for thought. I would much rather take my kid now while they're young and still in that youthful, phase, and not be able to hug Mickey than have to wait to take them for another 2 years. I mean, I think it's just, it is what it is. So as a travel agent, this is what I'm telling my clients. This is what I'm telling my guests, to just keep on planning. I have many, I woke up this morning and did someone's dining. Just keep on planning, because until Disney announces anything, we don't know. It's all rumor, it's all speculation, but I think it does help to kind of know in your mind, or at least accept that changes will happen. The parade may be limited, fireworks shows may be limited. It just is what it is. I know it's not going to stop me. That's what I was going to say. Many of you are thinking, I am going to wait to book because Disney is going to be so desperate for guests, they're going to offer an amazing deal. I am telling you this right now. Disney is booked. Disney is so crazy booked, including for fall, that I do not expect them to offer some crazy deal whatsoever. Summer is not so much booked because a lot of people have canceled, but again, that plays into their limited capacity thing that they're shooting for. So if you are so excited to go to Disney, but you're waiting for this hot deal, I'm telling you to book anyway, because I don't think that hot deal you think you're going to get is coming. So many people are so desperate to get out of the house, to go to Disney, to vacation, that I think you'll be surprised that this deal is not going to come. In fact, Shanghai, it is rumored that those day-by-day tickets I talked about earlier in the video sold out in minutes. People want to go. They want to travel. They are desperate for these parks to open. So rather than sitting on the sidelines waiting for this huge deal, book a trip. It's something magical and fun to look forward to. Please, please, please use a travel agent. Hit me up if you're interested. Otherwise, we would all just love your support right now in this time of need. In fact, I'm wearing my special shirt. This is how I feel during the quarantine right now. I am an at, and I'm just over it. It's quarantine style. Right now, it's extremely hard to be a travel agent. We absolutely love all of our guests and all of our clients who allow us to help them be a part of their vacation. So I'm asking you, look one up. If it's not me, look up someone else, because we would all appreciate sending you guys to Disney and the right way. So anyway, I hope this helped relieve some of you as coming from someone with experience, some expertise behind her. The answer to the big old question is no one knows. No one knows when Disney is opening. Disney Springs opening is just a sliver of hope, but again, it's only third party. So anyway, please subscribe to my channel. Please like and comment on this video. I love chatting with you guys. And stay safe out there. Stay healthy, because we all want Disney to reopen, and the best way to do that is just to keep on being healthy. So anyway, mahalo for watching, guys. Nina out.